Sight beyond sight, sound beyond sound. Kakank. Oh, you know what it is. If you didn't know, well, now you know. Guys, baby, welcome back to your favorite Wednesday night session. Your favorite encounter on Wednesday night. It isn't your Dungeons and Dragons party. No, you don't schedule your D&D thing on Wednesdays because that's pencil to pencil time. You know how this works. You know where your bread is buttered. Guys, we are back one more time to grace you with our, get ready, guys, smiling angelic countenances, our matinee idol good looks in lantern jaws. No script, Steve Conley, no script. I just come off the top of the head with this stuff.
Off the dome.
Off the dome piece. Yes, welcome back to Pencil to Pencil. We are live and we are in your vestibule. Guys, welcome back to the show. I am your first host. My name is JAMAR Nicholas. I wear many hats besides this one. I am on the board of the National Cartoon Society with our 80th anniversary and Rubens in the rear view. That's the past now. We did that. Now we're looking forward to 2027 in lovely San Diego. Hope to see you there. I'm also the Philadelphia chapter chair, Go Birds. Also, guess what? I do graphic novels. My next book in my Leon Extraordinary series, Leon and the Big Problem, will grace your bookshelves on January 5th, 2027. Thank you, Steve Conley. And while you have the graphic up there, what should the good people do?
Comment, why don't you?
Why don't you? Pre-orders are open. Get JN on the New York Times bestseller list, please. Is there anything decent in the world? Think of the children. Guys, I would be remiss if I did not introduce my cohort, co-conspirator, and co-conquistador. You may have driven past him while you were about to hit the exit, the I-20 exit on the internet superhighway. He should probably get a ride share by now. Man, look at this. This is for Mike, with a melodic tinkle at his back. Oh. You know him and love him. By God, it must be Stone Cold Steve Conley. What's up, Steve Conley?
Gentlemen, it's so good to see you. Hello, my name is Steve Conley. I am your second host and your 9th favorite host. I create The Middle Age, your 23rd favorite webcomic, which you can find over at middleagecomic.com. It's on Webtoons. Tap is Go Comics. Everywhere online. It's too many places, frankly. It's really. I should take it down a notch. I also make TTRPG stuff like Intoximancy and Death Dealing, and the latest one, Stabracadabra. I'm hard at work on an undisclosed project, as well as Wildest Shape for Druids, which you can find at wildestshape.com. But I would be remiss if I didn't introduce a Tower Power, the Many Hour Too Sweet to Be Sour, the maestro of mark making, the mercurial, the mirthful, Mr. Mike Manley.
Hello.
Oh, you guys are everywhere. You're like a gas station sushi. You're just like everywhere.
I'm like Kratom, whatever Kratom is.
Kratom. Kratom.
What are we doing?
Hello, everyone. I am Mike Manley, and I draw 2 syndicated comic strips. Judge Parker. And one of them featuring this guy.
He's jacked.
Although the version I draw actually has stripes on his underwear. This guy doesn't have stripes on his underwear.
Oh, that's not Temu Phantom, is it?
You got a Sharpie?
I think that's the Defenders of the Earth Phantom.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Or as Will Smith would say, Earth.
Earth. Yeah. I mean, there's so many versions of the Phantom now because I think Mad Cave is doing them, and then they do them in Europe, they do them in South America. So there's many versions of the Phantom out there now.
Yeah, and that's funny, Mike, because once in a while somebody will, me too, will come across some Phantom media or some other book or some other thing or a pulp, and people have to ask you all the time, Mike, do you know anything about this? Mike, did you do this? Mike, did you work on this? But there's so many things that the Phantom is in the middle of, like you can't keep up, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about any of the other stuff. Occasionally I will see it, but you know, I don't know anything, you know. Yeah. Just like there's so many versions of Flash Gordon now. There's like at least probably 2, 3, 4 different miniseries of Flash Gordon that don't have anything to do with each other. So
that's very true.
I think that's just what happens with the older characters. The companies are trying to, you know, keep them out there. I mean, I'm sure there's many versions of Tarzan. There's public domain Tarzan, but you can't call him Tarzan because Burroughs still owns a trademark.
Can you call him public domain Tarzan? I kind of like that.
Tarzan, yeah. Lord of the public domain.
That's my favorite. What's up, public domain Tarzan? Look, I just want to get some half and half. Can you just leave me alone?
Public domain Greystoke.
Johnny Weissmuller. I love it.
He has lots of Maori tattoos in the copyright and trademark put on his body.
I love it. I love it. Well, it's good to see you guys, my brothers in ink. I am very happy to report that we've been on a streak, you guys. I don't think we've missed a Wednesday in some time now. And there's been points where like I wasn't around. I think there was one where, I don't know, somebody else wasn't here, and we kept the ship going. I applaud us for our stick-to-itiveness and our gumption. And also for you guys, the chat, as D. Parson calls us, the pencil pushers that watch us every Wednesday. And also the lousy chat. I don't mean lousy in a good way. Lousy because we're lousy with cartoonists and professionals. Thank you guys for joining in every Wednesday. I hope at this point in time that you have liked, you have subscribed. Is that the plural of subscribed? Did you subscribe yet? And hit that alert bell? Because sometimes people say, "Oh, I didn't know it was on." I think you're lying. I'm put it out there. I think you're lying. I'm not blaming the algorithm.
As much as we promote it, I mean, we try to be, you know, reasonable with our promotion, but you know, you can promote it too. You know, you can say, "Hey, I was in this lousy cartoonist-filled chat the other day, and I learned about this amazing pencil, the magic pencil. They're all gone now. You should have been there."
Yeah, you missed it. Now they're at Temu. I would just keep saying Temu until we
Temu
get a
plastic magic pencils.
But you know what? Subscribe. That's right. The new hashtag, guys. I'm very excited tonight because we get to dip into our inkwell once again. It seems like we're kind of like doing one of three things every week. Either we're interviewing someone, we're doing a draw and jaw, or we're doing an Ask the Cartoonist. Right? I think we're kind of getting it down to a science. But
Ask the jaw. That's my favorite.
Ask the John. That's a whole other thing. I feel like I'm in high school again. But tonight, and this is the second time we've done this, we're doing a draw and jaw with what I'm calling the Scooby-Doo special guest. And tonight's special guest is not Don Knotts. It's not David Hasselhoff. It's Scott Kurtz. Oh God, it's Scott Kurtz. Yeah, guys, our good buddy Scott Kurtz, who I gotta give him a lot of credit, has been hanging out in our chat. He's one of the lousy cartoonists that you see in the chat when we do these things live. But we brought him on. He is a master of the digital pen, and we're going to get caught up with him and see what's going on with Scott and also draw some stuff. How's that sound?
Fantastic.
I think that sounds pretty special. All right, so guys, without any further ado, I'm about to render him. Prepare for rendering, Scott Kurtz. Welcome to Pencil, Scott Kurtz. Ping! Yo, are you playing a video game?
What? No. What's going on, guys? Scooby-Doo voice.
Yeah, Scott, you remember those early aughts in the '90s commercials? Why do you waste your time playing video games when you could be making them? Remember those?
What's that like? Is that a school to go into debt school?
Yeah, go to debt school.
Debt school.
Why play video games when you can make them? I'm old enough to remember Sally Struthers being like, "Would you like to make more money?" Sure, we all would. And then she would list all those correspondence careers you could learn.
I forgot about the correspondence.
And one of them was just art.
It just said art.
Yep.
Because that's not broad at all.
No.
Art. I love it. All right, let me move some stuff around. And I want to, guys, introduce Scott Kurtz to Pencil. Scott, it's wonderful to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You are our second Scooby-Doo guest on Draw and Jaw. The first was the dude.
Yes, I do know the
dude.
dude.
You know the dude. You know him. He abides. Steve Rude was our first. And I gotta also give a shout out to Mike Manley for that dope asset art. Oh, I gotta
dude,
put is it actually?
I was thrilled. Everyone that ever draws me I feel like they're making fun of me, and you're the first person to draw me that made me look cool, man.
Yo,
well, that's not true.
He put respect on your name.
That's right.
He did. The other person is Scott Campbell, who does the Great Showdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He did a little watercolor caricature of me one time, and I love it. It's on my website. I love that thing.
That's a watercolor chumpy, right? That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Scott C.
So, guys, I don't want to waste a lot of time because our time is precious. Our Wednesdays are precious, and especially because we have a guest. Don't touch that pound cake. It's for company, y'all.
Entenmann's is for company.
Entenmann's. It's been there since Christmas, but it's still for the guests.
Hold on a second.
No, don't go get the Entenmann's. So tonight we're going to do a special Draw and Jaw with Scott in the hot seat. And we don't have any parameters tonight. And I think this is, I know the chat has been saying it different ways, Steve, for a couple of weeks. Hey, you guys should do, and all those things sound fantastic. I think at one point when we do a little more scheduling, we can do one of those ... dashes. And those ... dashes are like, hey, you guys should all draw one thing and everybody inks it. That kind of stuff.
Right.
It's just like, that's fantastic. And I hear you. You're heard. But we just haven't gotten back together. But, maybe in the future. So, Steve, do you want to kind of like give the rules of engagement for what we do here on Draw and Jaw?
Yeah, it is going to be 4 of us drawing. I'm going to be trying to rotate as much screen time. We're going to share as much screen time as possible with all 4 of us. You're going to see that appear on the screen. It might not be labeled who's who. Fingers crossed it may be. If you have any questions in chat, I'm happy to answer the question. But yeah, we can just and we're drawing whatever we want. We don't have a agenda this evening. We're just going to have fun and show off, frankly.
Yeah. All right. So who actually has started anything?
I have not started.
All right.
Mike's already on his 3rd piece.
All right. So Mike, you have the screen. What are we looking at here?
I just found, because I've been fighting the last week, I've been fighting my tech. So my old Apple original keyboard that went with my iMac, a couple of buttons decided we're not working anymore. So I got a new wireless keyboard. And then that seemed to work okay for a while. But then suddenly I don't know. The buttons were not. I kept trying to reset it. So I eventually found on eBay an original version of the keyboard that came with this. And then I've been dealing with the HDMI cable that goes into my Cintiq, because now it's kind of wobbly and loose. So it's like you draw and you move and then everything resets, bloop, you know? So I've been fighting because like the keys would get stuck and they would be like, it would like just keep spitting out.
I need a Aruga. Give me one Aruga.
So it's like, oh my God. It's like that's the problem with when you work digital, right?
Yeah.
Like when you work digital, which I do now, it's great as long as everything works. And the minute one thing like your keyboard decides not to work, or a couple of years ago, suddenly my pen decided that it wasn't, and it kind of got worn out. And then it's sort of like you have to keep figuring like, well, what is it? Is it the keyboard? Is it the pen? Is it the wire? Is it 3 wires? And when you're on deadline, that's not what you want. You don't want to be fighting but that's like the last week I've been fighting. So I'm supposed to get a new HDMI cable, I think. I'm hoping tomorrow. And then I should be back okay. This is like the 4th or 5th wire I've had on the Cintiq since I started using it.
Yeah,
Jeez.
this has been going on in the chat. You know our boy George Gant. What up, George? George Gant says tech is revolting this week. I lost a hard drive. Yo, rest in peace.
Whoa.
Yep, I've had that happen. In fact, I have my old Western Digital. It's SS. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to send it out and I don't know, somehow see if they can reboot it or something. I don't know. It's expensive. Like I was thinking about reprinting some of my old Action Planet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're all on those old they're all the old jazz or zip discs now.
Did you say jazz drive?
A jazz drive.
Yep. Now I still have in my old computer room, I still have my G5 and I still have the stuff. So probably what I would have to do is I would have to hook all the SCSIs and everything back up. Or I think now you can box it and send it to somebody and they'll take all that stuff and put it on another drive and send it to you. But it's like everybody I know has lost, hundreds of pieces of artwork, and you hope you keep migrating it. But that's basically what happens. You have to keep migrating your because I had optical. I had SideQuest.
Shout out the SCSI.
Are you not doing any cloud storage at all?
I don't trust the cloud. Honestly, I don't.
Okay.
I had some. I don't trust the cloud because I feel like the way everything is now, if you put the stuff on the cloud and you don't have you should really have probably 3 backups.
Yeah, 3.
You should have 1 on the cloud, 1 backed up here, and then 1 like in a safety deposit box in case here burns up.
Offsite.
Or somebody nukes the cloud, because that was one of the concerns about with the war in Iran is that they're blowing up places in the Middle East, and some of those places like Amazon, they had big facilities in the Middle East. So you don't know, someday somebody goes, you know what? I don't like Jeff Bezos. I'm gonna fucking nuke his site.
Don't give him any ideas, Mike.
Okay.
Can't believe anyone wouldn't like Jeff Bezos.
So yeah, I think everybody I know has. My late cat fetching one day. I remember I was eating, and I was working, and I was downstairs, and I was sitting on the sofa, and I'm eating, and I had my laptop, and it's like slow motion. No, you reach for it as he decides, I'm going to walk on this thing and then get spooked and knock it off on the floor. And I lost a laptop that way. So,
Oof. All right, we're going to jump over to see what's on Scott's screen. I think I'm going to try to. Well, I got to remove it.
Yeah, you got to take it out. Hey, Scott Kurtz, what are you doing?
So
that's the name of our new podcast. Hey, Scott Kurtz, what are you doing?
Hey,
What are you
Scott,
doing?
what are you doing? What you doing? I had a big discussion with my brother the other day about Godzilla. Because they're doing a lot of Godzilla stuff right now. Like,
who is they?
Who
are we talking about?
oh, well, let me tell you. You can go to McDonald's, right? You can go to McDonald's right now, and the Happy Meal toy is Godzilla.
Really?
It's a Godzilla Hello Kitty mashup.
Oh, I think I heard of that. Right. Yeah.
And I don't know why that's a thing. But I was discussing with my brother, and I'm like, what's your favorite Godzilla? Mine's Showa era. And he's like, what? And I was like, oh, dude.
You flew too close to the sun.
Dude, yeah. And I was like, Showa era Godzilla is the best Godzilla, man. That's our Godzilla. That's 70s Godzilla. That's Godzilla versus Megalon Jet Jaguar Godzilla.
Yeah.
And he didn't know about the different eras. Well, maybe he did.
The lay people don't think about that, right? They just think Godzilla, like my Godzilla is the 60s Godzilla because I actually went and saw those in the Fox Theater in Detroit. I remember my dad taking me to see both just Destroy All Monsters, Son of Godzilla. So yeah, whatever version of Godzilla that is.
That's kind of, well, okay, so yeah, Destroy All Monsters and Son of Godzilla is Showa and right before. Son of Godzilla screwed me up as a kid. It is a sad movie.
And he kind of
looks so sad.
Kind of looks like you touched a little bit. Baby Godzilla kind of looks.
Yeah, well, Baby Godzilla and Godzilla in that movie both look like Timu Godzilla.
Yeah. That Godzilla, like he rides a short bus or something.
That's bless your heart, Godzilla.
Oh,
bless
your heart.
Look at him.
Bless his heart.
I cannot. Yeah, my brother gets really upset whenever they try to make a new Godzilla movie and screw it up, and he's like, "I don't know how you screw up a Godzilla movie. It's the most simple formula in the whole world.
Right.
It's real simple. Bad monster is attacking. Godzilla comes out of the water to fight Bad Monster. He defeats Bad Monster. They give Godzilla sleepy time gas. He goes back in the ocean. The end. That's a Godzilla movie.
Don't forget the little boy with the knee socks. You need him too.
Yeah, what is that about? Every Godzilla movie's got some kid that's psychically able to talk to Godzilla. It's because it's the only way you could.
Yeah, it's all that radiation from Hiroshima, right?
How's he going to talk to Godzilla? He's not going to hear you.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta find this kid with the
I think it's like
the NBA shorts for the 70s.
I think it's the same thing as what they always figured. Like you needed a kid, like the sidekick, right? You have to have the kid, so the kid watching it would go, "Oh, I now identify with this movie because it's child like me," right?
That could be me.
So that's the cousin Oliver effect. Is that?
I always hated that as a kid. I always hated that because it's like you knew that's what they were thinking, but that's not what I was thinking. You know.
Let's see what the chat's doing. We kind of sparked something talking about hard drives. There's like 5 conversations about how to back your shit up. Pause.
Yeah, I think I'm going to build I'm talking to my brother. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a new system, and then I'm going to build my own RAID or whatever, where I'm going to have the stuff here.
Oh, yeah. Build a NAS.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to eventually do.
That sounds involved.
It's not. You just get the body. then you can, you can put the stuff in it,
That reminds me. We're going back to, I don't know what era. What Kurtz era is this, Scott, that we're talking about when you were like all about the Drobo? Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's 2010 and earlier.
What happened to that tech?
The Drobo was trying to make a commercial NAS, so you didn't have to worry about it. That it was like a plug and play NAS.
Mm-hmm.
But NASs are pretty much plug and play now. That company, I think, dissolved because it did some probably goofy stuff.
Ain't that the way?
All those companies, they get to a point where it's like, oh, we're doing really well. Someone wants to buy us, and then it all gets goofy.
Well, that's what happens with every company. Is that it's like, I expect any moment it'll happen at Blue Sky. They'll get a new board. They'll come in, and then they'll say, "Well, we're going to take you guys public," and then all the stuff that everybody liked about them is done.
It almost happened with Patreon a couple times.
Oh, right, I remember that.
Yeah, and didn't it kind of happen with Kickstarter?
Yeah,
they walked that back though.
Right. Yeah, it even happened with was it OnlyFans? Because they make all their stuff with the nakedness, and then the guy who comes and buys it goes, you know what? All this nakedness has got to go, and then everybody goes, yeah, we're done with your company now. Well, what do you mean? Oh no, the nakedness can stay.
Tell us more about what you know about OnlyFans, Mike.
It's a magical place.
Tell us more. Do tell.
Super magical. Lots of amazing, creative people.
Let's see. Don't get us thrown off the air here. All right. So here's a nice little thing here. Our buddy, him in the street, says, "Dollar bill, y'all." Bill O'Donnell says, "Scott, thank you for all the joy and laughter of player versus player." That's nice.
Well, thank you for all the time you spent reading it. Yeah, it's I saw D was in the chat. We were both at CXC, and at one we were sitting across from each other at CXC, and we kept like catching each other's eye. And at one point I said to D, like,
hold on, Scott. Which D? There's a lot. There's double D's in the chat.
D Fish, not D Parsons. No,
not Super D. We're talking about D.
I've not had the pleasure of meeting D Parsons in person yet.
Yeah, Super D is a dang delight, as our buddy.
I've worked with him.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was sitting across from D Fish,
mm-hmm.
And at one point I looked over and I'm like, "Do you ever like wake up at night and be like, oh, I haven't drawn Dandy in a long time. Do you think he's mad that I haven't? Like, do you think he's like Jesse from Toy Story? Like, when somebody loved me, they drew me all the time." And he was like, "Yeah, kinda." And I'm like, "I do that with Skull all the time. Like, of all my characters, I just picture Skull going like, he used to love me. He used to draw me." And then I don't know, like 15 minutes later, D comes over. She comes over with a drawing of Skull behind me, going, "How come you don't draw me anymore?" And I was like, "Why?"
D's good for that. Don't give D ammo.
Yeah.
Don't give D Fish art ammunition. Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, so this, I guess, we were going to talk to you anyway, Scott. So, well, I guess we'll kind of do a micro interview at the same time. So, Scott, tell us what you've been up to these days. I mean, we started with a really nice sentiment about PvP, but tell us a little bit about Book World. I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah. So, Book World is I love it. I'm having an absolute blast in Book World. But what happened is, to make this long story short, is that I was doing PvP and we had a whole company Toonhound Studios. It was kind of built up around it. We're doing like, I don't know, 5 or 6 cons a year and a couple crowdfunding projects a year. And I had Corey Cassoni was my business manager, and my wife worked at the company, and we had a pretty good thing going. And then my pops decided to take up having strokes as a hobby. And so we told him to knock that off. And he came to live with us and kind of we became primary caregivers. And then about a year and a half into that, COVID hit. And then right around then, just the way that webcomics worked changed. Mostly based around how a lot of the internet became algorithm based, not follower based. And advertising, online advertising really shit the bed. So it was like a 3-punch combo. And when the smoke cleared and it was time to kind of get back to work, I didn't really have a company anymore. And I didn't really have a webcomic anymore. Everyone was really understanding of why I wasn't producing work, but they also had moved on. And everyone that I worked with had to move on to survive. And so it was like, well, I'm turning 50 and I'm kind of starting over. So, which by the way, I'm coming to learn is not uncommon. Apparently, is starting over at 50. But so I was trying to decide what to do because I didn't really feel like going back to PvP. I wanted to do something new. And I had this webcomic called Table Titans that I really liked, and I thought kids would really dig it. So I was pitching it to comic book publishers, and Philip Sablick actually said to me, you shouldn't go to comic book companies with this. You should go to like Scholastic and Random House with this if you want kids to read it. And he actually set us up an interview. This is how crazy this is. Philip, what a nice guy Philip is. He set us up like an email interview with an editor at Little Brown and Company, like one of the major publishers, and said, hey, you should look at this guy's book, which, you know, you don't really get to do unless you have an agent and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And she basically looked at it and said, I wish this was a middle grade book. And I didn't really know what that meant.
Right.
And she goes, well, I think kids would like this if it was a middle grade book. And I said, well, I think kids would like the book as is. And she said, Scott, on page 1, they walk into a bar and order beers. And one of the characters is a parent with a kid and a baby Bjorn playing D&D. And I go, okay, I see what you're saying. And so it was encouraging and discouraging at the same time, because it was an editor at a major publisher going, I'd love to have this book, but only if you completely started over and made it over from scratch.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And it was my wife who said, well, why don't you do that? Why don't you just start over? And I'm like, that's not what I was looking to do. I have all this work done. And she's like, yeah, but if she thinks people would want this if it was for kids, why don't you love these characters, why don't you just talk about how they met in junior high and just do that book? And so I started writing down ideas, and I got really excited about it, and I started drawing it. And then I thought, no, I did the self-publishing independent thing. I want to reach a bigger audience. I'm going to try to do this mainstream and traditionally. And so I put a pitch together, and I started looking for agents and talked to some people I knew that were cartoonists that had done this. And one of them said, let me show this to my agent. And that's how I got my agent. He really liked it. And then he pitched it around, and it was on submission for, I don't know, months. And then Holiday House was like, one of the editors at Holiday House said, I don't play D&D, but one of my assistants is nuts about it, and I'm really rooting for your main character, and I would like this book. So that was really exciting. It was like, okay, we're going to do something brand new. I've never done this before. I've never worked with a traditional publisher or with an editor. All my deadlines have been self-imposed, which means I don't meet them, but no one gets mad but me. You know, and so it was like I knew it would be a huge learning curve, and it has been, and I've learned a lot, but I've not learned anything that hasn't been by completely tripping over it, wrecking, skinning my knees up, and then going, okay, I know not to do that again. But yeah, book 1 came out in 2024. It's doing really well. Book 2 came out in March, and I'm busy drawing book 3 right now. Thanks, Steve.
Congratulations.
So yeah, I'm super lucky. I'm very blessed and privileged to be able to do it. And I try not to take that for granted. I have a lot of people in my corner that help. Oh, there's one of them, Steve Hamaker. Steve is the colorist on Table Titans Club.
Love Steve stuff.
He makes the work really pop and really shine. So yeah, it's just been like, it's been crazy. Book 1, my editor called me and said, "Oh, you're on another state list," and I'm like, "Uh-oh, what does that mean?"
You've been served.
Yeah, well, because so many schools want to ban books, you know. And she said, "No, it's a good thing. It's like every library system has they have a vote, and all the kids vote on what their favorite books are, and then if the state picks you as a state list winner, then all the libraries in the state want to order your book, and you're on this is your 6th one." I'm like, I'm on 6.
Yeah, it's great.
So
That's awesome.
that's been really cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to put my best work forward, and it's what's really exciting. And Jamar, you've probably experienced this, is that, and I don't know, you guys will have to tell me, doing comics for adults, you go to shows and it feels like it's pulling teeth just to find someone who cares that you're making comics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll be, someone will come by, and even if they buy the book, you're like, "Do you want me to sign it?" And they're like, "What?" Like, "I drew that. Can I sign it for you?" Like, "I guess." Like, they don't care. It's like you're superfluous. And then you do books for kids, and the kids are just so excited you made a book, and the parents are so excited you made a book. And then, heaven forbid, you run into a bookseller or a librarian or a teacher, and they're mega excited you made a book, and everyone's like, "Oh, you made a book, congratulations." You're like, I've made a lot of books. No one's cared until now. What's happening?
Yeah. So, that's welcome to recognition.
I guess, yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, it feels good. It feels really good.
I will say, Scott, and I've said this before, I've never gotten a thank you card from a 40-year-old with a neck beard.
No, they don't care
They
anymore.
They don't send me thank you cards, but 5th graders do.
Yes. I did a signing at our local library, and there were, I don't know, like 20, 30 kids in there. And one of them was in the back just staring at me, and he's just like holding book 2, just gripping it like so hard. And then he comes up afterwards and he goes, "I have a question." I'm like, "Yeah, what do you got?" And he's like, "You're going to be at the Bigfoot Book Festival in September, right?" And I said, "Yeah, in Redmond."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "You'll have book 3, right?" And I went, "No, book 3 won't come out until next year." And it was like I told him his dog ran away, man. He's just like, I'm like, "I'm sorry. It takes a long time to make them. You guys read them so fast." So
it is a totally different world, and you're totally right about that. Just, the gratitude is real, and it's almost like you've been starved your whole career for somebody to actually give a shit. What a concept.
I know.
Oh,
It's really weird.
I wanted to ask you a question, and there's a question in the chat for you, Scott. But kind of to that, there's also this weird thing in comic book world that doing this stuff is super simple. It's super easy. And I've read you say in a couple of spaces that this shit is harder than you thought it was. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like people don't really think about what goes into making this stuff, and they don't really, it's not their fault. It's the same as me with something that I don't really understand. Like I even understand the creative process, but if I meet a musician, I think they're alchemists. I think they're magicians. Like I feel the same way about cooking. Like I don't have a sense of smell. And like people that know how to cook and people that can make music and people that can sculpt, like I just can't wrap my head around it. And designers, anyone that can do like really good production design or graphic design or website design, that stuff makes my head, collapse in on itself. And so, it's kind of hard to understand the process, but I feel like I did myself a disservice for all those years doing Webcomics Weekly and promoting the webcomics model, which is give it away for free and monetize it on the back end, because championing that democratization of art was great and it worked at the time, but I feel like it also kind of set up this impression that this is a very disposable art form that you get for free and you should expect it every day fast. And, now when you take your time or you charge them for it, they're like,
Isn't that kind of what
no thanks.
The internet comic the first time, right? Is that everybody was expecting, free, right? And then when you said, well, now we want you to pay, everybody's like, pay? The only thing that people would always pay for was pornography, right? Because everybody that's where all the technology came for making, all the electronic secure sites came from people going, hey, I'm giving you, my credit card for your boobies. So how about you make that secure, right? That people would pay for that. But I remember that was a big thing in the beginning with the webcomics, because there was a lot of people doing webcomics, people, duty.com and what was it, Icebox, and all these companies were spending all this money putting stuff out with the internet, 1.0. And then all of a sudden, everybody goes, well, just like what's happening with AI, right? Everybody spent all that money, and then it's suddenly, within a period of a month or two, it seemed like everybody goes like, but I've spent millions of dollars, but I've made no money. And if you give people stuff for free, they'll go like, well, why do I have to pay for it now?
Yeah, I think that, it's not that they never paid for it in different forms either, because we definitely sold books and merchandise, but I don't know if it's true or not, but like, so for example, I was telling you before we started, I took down all my other websites recently. The reason for that is because there's just so much that goes into maintaining a webcomics like database and a website, maintaining those archives. And there's only a couple ways to do it. And one of the ways right now is a WordPress site. And those are notoriously kind of vulnerable to attacks. So they're constantly updating WordPress, but it's open source, which is one of its benefits, but it's also one of its drawbacks. And so your site's always like, it's designed kind of by design to break, and you've got to constantly maintain it. And
I know I get warnings on my
and
WordPress every week. It's like, oh, this is busted, that's busted. This is you need to plug in for this.
So I was doing a lot of work. There was a lot of work and a lot of cost going into maintaining content that's, you know, anywhere from 6 to 20 years old. And I was asking, and I've been fighting this feeling that, which again, as I told you kind of before we started, is kind of baseline for cartoonists anyway. But I've been feeling like a total failure. Like the more I succeed career-wise, and the more things go my way with this book stuff, the more I feel like I'm failing, because it's a slow build. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, this whole kidlit thing. And you don't earn a living from it right away. There's definitely an investing in yourself phase to this, which feels kind of risky and maybe a little irresponsible when you're in your 50s as opposed to when you're in your 20s. But like the more that I succeed, the more I feel like this is frivolous. This isn't real. This isn't earning me an income enough. And then I look at all my old websites. I would look at Toonhound Studios and I would see the PvP archives. It was just this reminder of things were different before, and now I'm not doing as well. And so I was talking to this author and kind of picking his brain, and he goes, "You're talking about the past a lot." And I said, "Am I?" And he goes, "Yeah. Why are you so focused on the past? There's so much good going on. You need to get out of the past. You're in the past a lot." And so I thought, yeah, why am I paying to maintain these websites that don't even advertise or promote or celebrate the stuff I'm doing now and who I am now? Why am I maintaining this nostalgic look at what once was? And so I mean, Toonhound Studios as a company is technically defunct. If you're not doing business after a certain amount of time, they consider the business defunct anyway. So I took down Toonhound Studios and PvP Online and all that stuff, and I just put up ScottKurtz.com that talks about the stuff I'm doing now, which is books and for kids. And if you want to read PvP, you can go to my Gumroad and you can download all 20 years of PvP in PDF books. There's like 7 volumes of them, and they're $5 each, or you can spend $30 and get them all. And that's how you can read them now. And I thought I'd get yelled at, and instead I made $2,000 in book sales. So it was like, hey, that actually feels pretty good. I'm glad I made that decision. But yeah, it's this weird. I'm really trying to reframe the way that I present my work, because so much of the internet is designed to take a content creator, and all these platforms, whether it's Twitch or YouTube or any of the social medias, I feel like they're all designed to take a content creator and squeeze all the juice out of that rock possible. And then when that content creator burns out or implodes, that's fine, because there's 1,000 of them in the wings waiting for their shot to create content. And all you're really doing when you create that content is promoting that platform. You're not really promoting yourself. You're not really helping yourself. So I'm very suspect and crotchety and old about things like webtoons and tapas and all that stuff, which is my prerogative as an old man now. I get to shake my cane at it.
I like old man Kurtz.
Yeah. Much like when I was in my 20s and the NCS was like, he's drawing with light. I don't like it. What is that about?
Those guys are dead.
They did pass on.
They've turned into light.
They're now officially light. Yeah. There was one guy I won't say who it is because I don't remember. That's the only reason I'm not saying. But he stood up at an NCS meeting at the Rubens the one year I went, and he was like, you know, is there any new business? And he stood up with help and said, I think anyone that uses a Cintiq to make their comics should pay higher dues. The room went silent, and then he sat down like, I said it.
Did he tap his cane like?
Then he put his diaper and passed out.
The bigger the screen, the more you pay.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
Well,
there's always resistance, you know. There's always resistance, I think, and those a lot of the we talk about this all the time. If you got into the comics before 1990, you could basically go all the way back to the beginning, and you basically worked with a pen and a pencil. You didn't have to have a fax. You worked the same way, right? Maybe,
Yeah.
you know, a few things changed. Art supplies got worse, but basically you could just sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil and a pen, the traditional tools. Nothing was really, the paper size got smaller. Really, that was probably the biggest change for most people working for the majority of the history of comics, is that the paper size went down. But yeah, you know, I remember when the fax came in, right? And then pretty soon the internet came in, but people resisted buying a fax machine. Then everybody resisted getting a computer, until eventually it's like, well, if you don't have one, you're not going to be able to get your script. You know, eventually everybody switched over.
I remember in college we would take our final inked projects and take it down to get the stats made, get stats.
Yeah.
Retro stats. Yeah, you go down to the stat lab, you know.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, I still love working traditionally. I don't think that I would want to do a 200-page graphic novel for kids traditionally, because there's such a time save in working digitally that I can't do anymore with traditional materials. But I miss that stuff. Like I'm homesick for that stuff, like drawing on Bristol and going to class. This is my college experience. Going to class, there was this girl who used to pick Zipatone scraps off of my arms during class. It was a advertising art class we had at the University of North Texas, and I would go in after doing my strip for the school paper, and then she sat next to me, and I'd feel some tug at it, like an arm hair, and I'm like, oh, what was that? She's like, Zipatone. She pulled Zipatone off my arms. Those were the days, boys.
Oh man, don't I miss it? I also miss facsimile machines. Sorry. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Scott, talking about the webcomics, do you think that conversation you would have had with Philip Sablick would have happened if you hadn't done the webcomic?
No.
Right.
I feel so. Its value for younger creators, I feel like it still has a, because we talk about the best way to make a comic is to make a comic, and you got to put it somewhere, and they can't paywall it until people know who they are. So it still has value as for younger people, but I get the point you're making.
No, I absolutely think there's value in making a webcomic for sure, but I think that I think there are positives and negatives to it. One of the things that I benefited from that the kids now don't is when we were growing up and we were practicing, the people that saw our practice were our friends and our family, and then teachers and fellow students, but it wasn't the public. And now everyone's kind of practicing live, and that's tough, because the part of the practice is your taste in what you want to be able to draw is very high and sophisticated, but your ability to accomplish that is amateur. And then when you do kind of figure it out, it's not exciting anymore because you figured it out. So you're onto something new that you have good taste about. That's a really cool way to do something in cartooning. Like you've discovered Alex Toth, and now you realize that you can really anchor your pages with good solid black areas and spot blacks.
Hey,
But you don't know how to really do that. What?
Watch it, Kurtz.
God damn it! I knew you'd do it to me once.
You got to be quick around me, man. You know better.
I did say the word black. Yeah, you gotta spot those blacks. How did you notice that? But every time Mike talks about anything, he brings it to pornography, and everyone just brushed over.
I'm just letting him rock on that. I don't know where that's coming from.
But yeah, but then like, but so like having to practice live, I think could really throw somebody. So I think that stinks. But yeah, it was huge. It was huge being able to do that, and I think even more than whether or not you're good at it, I think it's important to show that you can maintain a consistency. And I think that will lead to improvement in
also, you gotta develop the thick skin at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think, the advantage that you have now is that if you do something and it's decent, it's so much easier for you to go and have somebody actually give you feedback because it's really accessible. When I was a teenager, there was only a handful. When I was in my major development, say between 13 and 20, so there was like 7 years, I could only go to a couple of conventions a year. There was no internet. Maybe you would be lucky, like I was when I sent my samples to the Captain Canuck guys, and George Freeman actually sat down and did that amazing critique for me. But, that was really rare. I mean, a lot of times you send stuff out and you never hear. You don't know whether they got it or whatever. Now, I think that's the advantage that the young folks have, is that everybody around the world, if it's decent, it's so much easier to write somebody a nice letter, ask them, can you look at my stuff? Here's the link. You don't even have to fill their inbox with stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That is, because I mean, it used to be the only way to get anyone that you admired or was in the pro sphere to even look at your stuff was you had to take your portfolio to a con,
Right.
And do they even do that anymore?
Sometimes, some shows.
Yeah, I think people do. I think people do take stuff to shows, but I think the thing is that the other downside is that having people like your stuff. The trap is having people like your stuff is not always an actual reflection of the quality of your work in the real world. It's like getting a good grade in art school, right? Everybody, if you just turn in your work, gets a B, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go out, well, my art teacher said, hey, that was good. I got B's and A's, and then you send your stuff to Lucasfilm, and they're like, no answer, right? So it does kind of cut both ways, because likes don't necessarily turn into people giving you a true, who's the person liking it, right?
My mom says I'm handsome.
Yeah. I mean, I know it probably sounds.
Dad says I kiss the best.
Yeah.
Remember that from Vacation?
Very fanish or silly. But if I post a week of The Phantom and Garcia Lopez likes my work, then all is right with the world. Because he's one of the best guys ever. He's one of the best guys ever. And if he likes something I did, okay, that's like a legit. That's like a legit thing. Not that, I can post anything. I'll post this thing later that I'm doing. And, fans will like it because fans are very nice. But when you have somebody you really respect,
JAMAR Nicholas.
That does change things quite a bit.
There's some questions here for Scott. I don't want to not ask them. So let's do some questions here. So our good buddy from Scott, you won't believe this, from the other side of the planet, hailing from Australia way. Sean Shai says, what surprised you most going from self-publishing to traditional publishing? Scott Kurtz.
The speed in which stuff happens. It slows down, and you don't think about it until you're like, why is this taking so long? It's just like, it's not taking long, and it's we, you know, when you're self-publishing, when you're doing your own thing, especially on the internet, you know, the time between idea to execution is real short. You know, it's up to you. And but in publishing, traditional publishing, it just takes forever. I mean, the hardest part so far for me in doing this is being on submission and just having to, you know, sit there and wait for editors to decide if they like it or they don't like it. And the part that I thought I would hate, which is you're going to get rejected, that was not bad at all. No one ever said to me, no, this is terrible. You know, we can't publish this. It was always like, oh, this is great. Or even what was really crazy, which threw me for a loop, was, oh, Scott's getting into Kidlit. That's awesome. We love PvP, but this doesn't fit our slate right now. You know, it doesn't fit in our slate. Everyone always had a reason why it didn't work for them. And it was never, well, you're not good enough, or this isn't good enough. No, the hard part is just how slow everything goes. Until it's your deadline, then it's got to be lickety split. That is another thing that stinks. Like, when you turn in your first draft, and now you got to wait for them to write back what they think about it. That can take as long as it needs to.
Yeah, we have notes.
And will take as long as it can. And then when you go, oh, geez, they're really taking a long time. I guess I'm not going to have, I guess my deadline for the next draft is going to have to move. No, it's not. That's staying the same, you know? So that was the hard part for me. It's just that slowdown.
So it very is much a hurry up and wait situation, like Scott's saying. It's, you know, and also it's very true that deadline milestone doesn't slide for whatever the publisher's doing or not doing.
No, it doesn't. And then the other thing is, like, the whole industry goes on, like, disappears for a month at this time of the year also.
Yeah, they're on vacation.
Everyone's on vacation. So
what's that? I don't know that word. That's crazy. They're on vacation. So how it happens? You're just in limbo while everyone's.
Well, I mean, I have my deadlines and I have stuff to work on, but yeah, if I needed to talk to somebody, they're gone. Everyone's gone right now.
That's also different. I think a big difference between comics, publishing, and, like, even in animation, like in TV, like, basically after Thanksgiving, people kind of in Hollywood shut down until the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Right? Not in comic strips. you're grinding, you know, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, you know, publishing, you know, they're like the bank. It's like, nah, we're closed today. You know?
What's their name? Sean Chai? Dorcha?
Yes.
They're the ones in Australia?
Yes.
In Australia, everything's backwards. In Australia, dogs are real chill and cats chase sticks. That's a terrible.
Okay.
I'll talk to Lord Humongous. He seems like a reasonable fella. That's my best Australian impression. He asks, what's it like going from daily feedback to working with something for months and months in the audience? I was very, very excited about that. And I do like it. I've really enjoyed, I'm working on something, nobody sees it, and then I release it. But what stinks about that, and I really don't do conventions anymore because, I don't, it's really, I was going to ask Jamar what you do about this. Like, I think, oh, I should go do that con. But then I think, well, wait a minute. I can't really get books. I'm not self-publishing. I don't have a bunch of books in my garage, like,
right.
What I didn't realize is what an isolationist I would become. Like, my wife sat me down recently and said, you need to make a conscious effort to leave the house, even if you just go for a drive, like get out of the house.
Yeah.
Like, I just next month I'm going to start teaching 2 cartooning workshops at a local junior high. And
That's
I pursued that because it would get me out of the house.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
and
good
it would
for you.
Get me interacting with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. My best friend and my wife kind of had a little mini intervention with me that was like, you don't leave the home ever.
You had a mintervention, a mini mintervention, yeah.
What's even funnier is I knew it was bad when I had my neighbor. I have a neighbor, Abraham, and he goes, hey, do you want me to take your trash to the curb for you? And I said, what? And he's like, yeah, do you want me to take your trash to the curb? Sometimes I notice that it's like the next day is trash day, but you didn't bring your trash out. And I was like, oh, I probably forgot. Yeah. Usually we rush in the morning. And he's like, well, I'll take it out from you from now on. And I was like, the next day I would gone somewhere and come back, and he goes, this is your car? And I said, yeah. And he goes, so when this is gone, that means you left the house. And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, excellent. Like, so even the neighbors are noticing I never leave. So that's when I went and I said, yeah,
they
you're
probably
right.
talk. They probably talk. Right? Because what's up with those weird people that never leave their house?
What's up with that guy? He never leaves the house.
I think cartoonist isn't in the top 5 ideas that they have in their head.
Yeah, my neighbor Chuck was the same way, especially when my buddy Ricardo was here, because Chuck's right next door, so he could look across and he would see my studio, and he'd see these 2 guys sitting here just like this. He'd see me sitting here, and Ricardo goes, those guys never move. They're like, they're just like, controlling the internet or something. We're sitting here constantly in the same position, lights on 24 hours. It's like every time I look out the window, there they are. What are those guys doing?
Well, yeah, because we have deadlines to meet, man.
There's another question. Our good buddy Phil O'Donnell asks, has Scott done the ALA shows? Have you been to ALA yet, Scott?
I have. I had a wonderful time at ALA. I went in 2004 when book 1 came out. And it was in San Diego, which was awesome.
24?
Yeah, 2024.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was great. You really do feel like a rock star at that show. I thought I was going to have to skip it because like a week before the show, I was letting one of my dogs outside, and the next thing you know, I was on the floor halfway in my house and halfway out the back of the house. I had tripped on something and gashed my leg open on the track of the sliding glass door. And I thought, oh, if this keeps me from going to ALA, I'm going to be so mad. It was a real big, scary gash, but it just required stitches. But
nice.
I was hobbling around that show, and
you're the hobgoblin.
I was hobgoblin. I was too proud to get one of those scooters.
Oh.
I should have gotten a scooter.
Yeah.
I should have gotten the scooter because it really wrecked my leg. But yeah, I had a great time at that show. Everyone I met at that show was hilarious and awesome, and they were all librarians. Like, librarians are crazy. And they're there to have a great time.
Mm-hmm. I think it's... No, go ahead, Scott. Are you going back, or have you been back since?
Well, the first time I went was because Holiday House sent me. I didn't realize that I could just go. I thought a publisher had to send you.
Right.
And then like this year, I think, was it Schweitzer that went? Somebody went. I'm like, you can just go to that? And they're like, well, yeah. I didn't know that. I thought a publisher had to send you. So I do want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been to the ABA, the American Bookseller Association conference. And that was really great too.
Yeah, there's like I kind of call it the alphabet soup.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, and they're all a little different, but
but again,
the love is real.
It's just like everyone's just like, hey, congratulations. I go, what? You made a book. Yeah. That's great.
Well, I think
so proud of you.
I think that says something about, like, I don't know, just kind of the weirdness of comic books. It's just like I think they still think that Stan Lee draws them all. You know what I mean? There's some weirdness to comic books that is permeated throughout the industry, or just people's perception of comics. Let's see, Scott, how are you feeling about this episode so far?
I am having such a good time. Like I said, I never leave. I never interact with people. I needed this. This is cartoon therapy, and I was desperate for it. So,
don't you? We were talking about, I think, about doing a Zoom. Just get a bunch of people and do this. You just sit there and you.
I would love that. I used to do it back when Toonhound was like a big thing. We would all get on whatever, the du jour, Zoom or Discord or Slack. We would have what we called virtual studio.
Yeah.
I would love it. But I've had not a lot of success organizing that.
Well, between that and my failed attempt at running a Marvel superheroes campaign.
That would be so much fun.
One of these days.
The Marvels. So is there a new version of that, or are you playing the 80s version of it?
I play the 80s, man. That other stuff is straight dog water.
Oh, how dare you.
So I have a friend. He's my best friend in the whole world. I've known him for 40 years. And we still, as part of our lexicon, have a joke from the original version of Marvel superheroes that we use. And it was, you remember how, so in normal RPGs, all your stats are numbers. But in the Marvel superhero, they were words.
Right.
So it was like feeble all the way up to like ultimate, like so feeble, amazing.
Beyond?
They used all the uncanny. So you had like uncanny strength, or you had amazing intelligence. Right. And then they would describe it.
Good.
Because who could understand what that meant?
Right.
Good, excellent, remarkable, incredible, amazing, uncanny.
Yeah, wait, hold on. No, it's monstrous, unearthly.
Monstrous, unearthly. Sorry, just trying to keep my nerd card.
That's all right. You're okay. So what's the joke?
But it would describe it, and for a feeble strength, it had a picture of Aunt May, and it said "trouble with doors." Every time since then, if one of us has like pushed a pull door or something, the other one goes, "Trouble with doors."
You had a bad roll. Yeah, I couldn't open that door.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Hold on, some new comments.
Dog water. That's funny.
Well, I like trash milk, but the kids say dog water. Yo, that's straight dog water, son. So, another thing that, and it's funny when I get to talk to other kidlit folks, and we kind of trade things around. A lot of people have come from other parts of cartooning into kidlit. There's a lot of people who came from comics into doing kind of like long form graphic novels, and then some people kind of show up in the kid space. Scott, do you want to talk about, and also the part you said about kind of like being an island and not really, going outside like you used to. Tell me about where your voice is coming from to do kids material. Where is that? Where are you drawing that from your childhood, your inner Scott? Like, where is that coming from?
Yeah, I think so. It's funny because, like I said earlier, I didn't really understand what it meant to make a middle grade book. What makes a book a middle grade book? Right? I didn't really get that.
Right.
And so when I put together the pitch for book 1, my agent said, "You need to do the whole script." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "It helps you sell the book." So I did a whole script for book 1. I wrote a whole first draft.
Mm-hmm.
And my current editor, one of the things she said was, one of the reasons why she knew that she wanted the book was I had such a great voice for middle grade. And my agent was like, "That's awesome. What a compliment." And I'm like, "Really?" Because I didn't take it as that. He's like, "How could you not take that as a compliment?" And I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a voice for middle grade. This is just my voice." She's basically calling me immature. I don't have a voice for middle grade. I don't know what that means, but I think the number one thing is I try to remember what I was really into reading when I was young.
Yeah.
And I wanted to read books where I didn't 100% understand everything.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up the son of immigrants, I got access to a lot of European comics.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I turned them down because I thought, well, those are baby comics, I don't want those. But then when I realized, oh, this version of the Smurfs is not what we're getting in the States. This is
right,
like medieval fantasy fun stuff, like the characters of the two little knight kids, that you don't get that with American Smurfs and Asterix and all that. And so there was a lot of stuff I didn't really get. Like, I remember reading X-Men and learning very specific words. Like, I knew what a psychic rapport was before, in elementary school.
Uh-huh.
right.
I was learning Russian. I learned that Tovarish was Russian for friend. So I really fight a lot to whenever I get a note that's like, kids probably don't know what this means. I try to fight that because that's fine. I feel because I think that's going to excite them. So I try to do that. And then I'm very dialogue based and very character based in my writing. I'm more than plot. So I think about dialogue all the time and I workshop it in my head all the time. My wife hates watching any kind of procedural with me because I'll be like, oh, he's clearly the one that did it because I know that actor and he's not a day player and he wouldn't be on here just to be a red herring. And then
You're a spoiler.
And then she said to me, "Can you just watch this and not be a writer and just enjoy it?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Can't you just watch it and not dissect it?" And I said, "I am just watching it." She goes, "No, people who enjoy content, when something's funny, they go, 'That's funny.' But when it's funny to you, you go, 'Oh, that's so smart. Oh, that's so good.'"
You can't turn you can't turn that part of your brain off because that's how
I cannot turn it off.
Yeah.
Rule of 3.
Yeah. So
Chekhov's gun again. Savvy.
Yeah, I do that to her all the time too.
You bust out Chekhov's gun.
I do bust out Chekhov's gun.
That's fantastic.
We watched in the last episode of Lanterns. I said Chekhov's hospital.
Nice.
The thing is that if something is really good, you fall into the spell. if it's clunky, you're very aware of the parts because you're if you're a storyteller, right? No matter what, you're a storyteller, your brain is always on. So there's a logic that you have because that's what you would do or you wouldn't do, or you go, wow, that's really good. So if it's funky, it's like the magic spell is broken. And you're like, well, why did they do that? That didn't make any sense. Or that's too obvious, right?
I was trying to think of the last time I watched something from beginning to end and didn't once think about it that way. And it was the original Matrix. That thing grabbed me from moment one and had me by the neck the whole time.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great one.
Until the second one and the third one. Those didn't.
Yeah. It always bothered me when I would work on a show where in the first act, Mr. Freeze freezes Batman's cape and escapes. And then in the third act, Batman pulls out his boomerang when Mr. Freeze freezes his cape and he hits his tank and it explodes, or the thermal batarang breaks the ice. It's like, well, why didn't he do that the first time?
Yeah.
Right? And you can't turn that part of your brain off, right? It's like, why does Superman get defeated, right? It's like if your story is, the difficulty is you have a character who's very powerful. So the only way you can get to the second and third act is to suddenly make him stupid. That's just bad storytelling. And you can't escape that if this is what you do for a living. You're just aware of that.
When we left the second Matrix, we were walking out of the theater, and I said, if I was in a post-apocalyptic future, where my only weapon against the AI was EMPs, everything would be an EMP.
Right.
That trash can would be an EMP. That phone booth would be an EMP. Like everything would be an EMP. Why isn't everything an EMP? Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we're just kind of stuck thinking that way. But that's not bad.
No,
those are good problems.
Yeah.
Scott, hold on, let's do a time check. Oh, we're running out of road, you guys. Let's check out Scott's work. That's a nice Godzuki.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys want to watch an old Godzilla movie that'll make you really sad, watch Son of Godzilla. It's kind of a bummer kind of sad at the end.
Wait, that's Bless Your Heart Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's weird because I remember liking him as a kid, but at the same time, it's like he just like, why didn't he just look like Godzilla but smaller? But he was all like burn victim.
He looks like, you know what Minya, his name was Minya or Manila. He looked like someone took their sister's Cabbage Patch doll and put it by the heater and then left it to get real hot and then like mashed its face all out of
it's like
black.
And why was his name Minya? Because that doesn't even sound like Godzilla would have a kid named Minya.
I think it was supposed to be like Minizilla, but it just became Minya. I don't know. Who knows?
Before we get out of here, Super D, it's not a question then. Scott Kurtz, have you considered going back to comic strips, or has that ship sailed in exchange for graphic novels? Good question,
I have actually worked on a new comic strip. Let me pull it up. Let me save this before I lose this Godzilla. Hold on.
You better save that to the cloud, Scott Kurtz.
I do save it to the cloud, and then I back it up on this thing.
On a piece of paper in a treehouse.
Can you hear it, McCloud? It's the quickening.
I did a comic strip. So working on a comic strip called Tales by Tavern Light here.
Oh, cool.
Just to see if I could still do comic strips.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be like, what if Cheers was a medieval tavern?
Nice.
Oh, you shared some of those.
Yeah, I did.
I like the character design on those.
Yeah, this is the barbarian that doesn't want to be mean.
I like that neck. Look at that neck. So good.
When I was a child, the tyrant Ral Partha slaughtered my people, leaving me the last Markovian.
Well,
For decades, I toiled on the wheel of pain, growing in strength and determination. Now I wander the land in a vengeful rage. I will drench this world in blood. But what I really want to do is paint. Yeah. This is like whenever we say something funny during D&D, it usually becomes one of these, and I draw it and then put it away and hope that one day I'll put them out. I have only showed them to friends, and I've put a couple of them on Instagram. Two varied responses.
So what kind of responses are you talking about? Are they kind of like, oh, I don't like fantasy strips, or is it like, where's PvP? Like, you know, where are people coming from in this question?
No, people. Mostly my wife is very much like and so and it didn't really, no one really got super excited about it, and I don't know if that's just because nobody's really interested in seeing something that's not PvP from me, or if I just have lost my touch, which is possible.
Interesting. And here's another question for you, Scott. And this is kind of like an interesting thing about kid world. It's book world, kid world. Are some of your young readers kind of discovering you for the first time?
You know what?
Right.
Oh, other than in person, I really haven't gotten a lot of feedback. So I don't. Like you talked about getting cards and stuff. I don't ever hear from my audience unless I'm at a signing. And it was only, my first book came out, 2 years ago. So I feel like there's a period of time where they have to all discover me, even find the book for the first time. They may not find the book until frickin' book 3 comes out. So
it takes time.
I'm just now starting to meet fans of the book, right? And it's been exciting because when you say what's your favorite character and they have an answer, that's pretty great. But I'm not getting emails or anything like that. But again, that's another reason why I took down the old website and put up a new one, because they're not going to go discover, the readers I have now. I don't know that PvP is for them, and certainly not Mort. Like on my old site, I had the strip I did that was about taking care of my dad. And so, I needed a place that they could even land that would encourage them to contact me. So that hasn't really happened yet.
Well, you know what? I think, Scott, if you do more school visits, that'll start to change.
Yeah. And they always go really, really well. And I always have a really good time. I did a signing at the Schultz Museum 2 years ago, year and a half ago. And I said to my family, you guys should go explore Santa Rosa. This is going to be very boring because my potential audience here are museum goers, right? They're here to see the clearly superior cartoonist that has its own museum. They're not here to see me. So no one's really going to buy these books. And they even had a bookstore come out. So I was at a table, and next to me was some guy that worked at a local bookstore with all my books. And I was shocked at how many people, again, like, oh, you make books? My kids love books. What's your book about? It's about some friends who play D&D. They love D&D. We did move a lot of books. And so one kid came by, barely said anything to me. His name was Chance. He had really, really long hair. And I said, how long have you been growing your hair? And he was like, always, like my whole life. I've never cut it. And so he bought the book And then they went looking at the museum, and like, I don't know, 30 minutes later, he came back and the book was wrecked.
Yeah.
Like it was like all folded and peeled back. And he comes up and he goes, "Hey, it's a cool book." And I go, "You already read it?" And he goes, "Half of it, but I can tell. It's a really cool book. It's a good book. You did a good job." And I was like, "Thanks, man. Thank you." And the guy at the bookstore looks at me and goes, "See, you were wrong. You told your family. You actually had fans show up to see you today." And I go, "You sold that kid that book 45 minutes ago, buddy. That was a brand new book." So
that's fantastic. That's great.
That's pretty cool.
I love those stories.
Yeah.
What up, brother Mark? Says to hit armor class 0.
Faco. Hit me with Faco.
What's that?
That's some OG D&D right there.
What y'all know about that? To hit armor class 0. Yeah, man. That's deep nerding. I love it. That's good nerd. All right, guys. We're gonna put a pin in this. You know what happens next. Let me find the John here. Where is it? I got too many Johns. Pencils down. Pencils down. Scott Kurtz.
But
that's let's check out these. Check out these drawings. Mike Manley. That's a pretty good.
Dang.
Hobgoblin.
Is that Ramita Jr. that you're inking?
Yep.
Oh wow.
While we were sitting here gabbing, Mike was drawing.
He was working.
Yep.
That was awesome. You're killing it.
Yeah, this one is almost done. Well, I mean, it's simple because it's just too. I'll probably spend more time inking the webs than anything.
Did you guys see the new Spider-Man yet?
I saw.
I haven't.
I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's on Facebook.
He's my son on Facebook.
Yeah, somebody went in. I remember I had an argument with people because they thought.
Oh yeah, they didn't like that.
And like, Facebook sent me a link to the Spider-Man thing. I was like, "What's this?" And so
Facebook.
Facebook sent me a link, and somebody gone in and they.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Sent me a
Wait,
link.
you watched the whole movie on Facebook?
Somebody went in and recorded the whole movie.
Oh,
I thought it was okay, but I'm glad I didn't pay for it.
wow.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Let's hear it for the algorithm.
Yeah.
Facebook.
They had like Captain America on there. There's a whole bunch of movies on there. So somehow if you post a picture of a life drawing, you're banned. We'll knock you down. It goes against community rules. Somebody goes and videotapes the brand new Spider-Man movie, has a fan page on there with the whole thing loaded in 5 or 6 parts. That person, they're fine.
Yeah.
It's such a crazy.
You watched it though, didn't you?
but you watched it though.
On your
But
phone?
you watched it.
I know I watched it on my my iPad.
There you go.
All right, Stone Cold.
Jamar hiding under his bucket.
I gotta produce. It's a Stone Cold Steve Conley. Tell us what you've been working
Oh,
on.
I finished working on that little that sketch of the figure. I didn't really care for the one I was working on previously. I think I got him hidden here somewhere. So I'm just sculpting a new it's kind of an insectoid creature. So trying to give it at least a little bit of a Tothi vibe to the shape of the head. At least actually Hy Mencken, the guy who designed Zorak, kind of that approach.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Scott, have you seen Steve rock this modeling software?
Yes. I love watching him
It's
do
so
it.
incredible.
Is that Nomad Sculpt?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's good stuff.
Hey, when you talk to Steve about it, he's like, "Oh, this old thing
No,
woke up like
cartoonists would find it so easy. I swear. We know our characters.
It's very, very intuitive.
Yeah.
Oh, you've messed with it too, Scott?
A little bit, yeah.
That's fantastic.
And cartoonists just know their characters inside and out. So
And Cool. So what are you going to do? You're using this as reference, or are you going to like?
No. This will be a sculpt and it'll be a reference for a paint. Well, it will be a reference for a painting, and then STL that people can download.
Okay. And Scott, you shared already, right? And Mike shared. Do you want to? Yeah. Let's see your. Let's see your do. Oh shit! Sorry.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's it. That's good stuff, Scott. And you kind of had a couple of reference things, and then you just bang that out, right?
I did, yeah. I always have reference. I always bring some Godzilla draws. Some Godzilla. Godzilla and I are old friends. That's how I cut my teeth. Starting was writing, my first creative output was block letters, and it was the word Godzilla over and over.
Really? I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I thought you were going to talk about slash fiction or something like that.
No, it was all I can't think of the logo right now, but it was used for the Marvel Comics Godzilla comics.
Yeah.
The Herb Trimpe Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Good job, Scott. Look, I hope that you were inspired hanging out on Pencil.
Love that.
Tonight.
I had a blast, guys. Really, honestly, I'm happy to do this anytime. I'm available whenever you need me.
Well, don't leave yet because I got to show mine. don't punch out already, Maverick.
This is like at the NCS when you were like, "What about my butterfly moment?"
Yeah, what about me?
Me.
Yeah. So this is my I don't know. I've been working on this Bret Hart. So he needs some more work, but
that's awesome.
He's getting there. I got this little dude in my hand, so I was inspired by the excellence of execution.
Is that from Timo?
No, this isn't Timo. But this is a good Bret Hart.
Timo? Is that from Timo? Is that from Timo?
That's from Tybo, Bret Hart. All right, hold on a second. So
when you guys before you'd introduced me and you were talking about the Phantom, it was so hard not to unmute my mic and scream "Slam Evil."
Slam Evil, Billy Zane.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. I think Steve, can you put us back to the regular grid?
I can.
Guys,
our regular orientation.
Guys, we did it. We did it. We had a great time hanging out with you. Parting is such sweet sorrow. And thank you to our good buddy Scott Kurtz for hanging out with us and slaying some digital ink. If you would like to see more of our fine feathered friend, you can check him out on ScottKurtz.com.
There he is.
The all new ScottKurtz.com.
There he is. You can check him out right there. Scott, you got any last words for us?
No, just keep drawing. You never know. Even if you make something and only one person sees it, it could really change their day, change their life. So make stuff, especially now. We need it.
Keep looking up.
Keep looking up, kids, because that's where it all is.
I love it.
Jack Horkheimer, Star Hustler.
Now you know the rest of the story. I'm Paul Harvey.
I'm gonna hit you with this one. What you talk about? Everyone. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is, you know what? All your dreams come true on JAMAR Nicholas Network, JNN Programming. So tomorrow you get to hang out with me, and you know what happens next, Scott Kurtz. You get to hang out with me.
Did you say Jamaro?
Yes, I did say tomorrow. Hang out right here, 9 p.m. Thursday night. Coffee break.
Dear John reference. Who knows that show with me?
Watch me drink a cup of Come on, let me get it out. Watch me drink a cup of coffee or rub my mouth, and I think Scott Kurtz has to come to coffee break with Jay. That's right, dear John, you got it.
Dear John, I love that show.
And yeah, Scott, we're gonna have to have you back on. This is too much fun.
I saw that he's pretty old now. He's like 90 years old or something. I think. Yeah, he's up there. Yeah. They do one of those things, where they show the people during the you know, the original show, and then like they show them as either like
Oh yeah, like with the ages.
dead or whatever. Like wow, it's like wow, you know, some of those people were, even when they were younger, they looked old.
Yeah, like those little grids where it's like Rhea Perlman was like 22. And she
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What the hell?
What? Yeah. But that was, you know what? That was smoking up, ripping cigs in the Burger King playland.
Yeah, aren't you
What
about
made us look old.
45 or 48 or something? He looked like he was like 70.
Well, you know, thank God for skincare these days, right? All right, guys, let's call this. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. You know what happens next. You know, Scott, you know the patron saint of Pencil to Pencil, the Sorcerer Supreme, Polly Walnuts. You know,
Thomas.
yeah, you know. Just imagine Polly Walnuts in a velour tracksuit with like the Eye of Agamotto around.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, Mike, you know, Drostradamus predicted all of this."
You people are freaks.
And what the Sorcerer Supreme has predicted is that in the future we all will have Kirby hands. All right, that's a good Kirby hand, Scott. I like it. Let's see those Kirby hands. Tell them, D-Fish, put them up. All right, guys, we'll see you here tomorrow for coffee break. Thanks again to Scott. Go into that good night and keep drawing. See you next time.